everyone. Welcome to episode 34 of the GrowCast Show. Vicky is busy. That's why I'm taking over. My name is Marian, and I'm hosting today's episode with Archana Amlapure. Thank you so much for coming here. We're going to talk about you and your yoga journey, and later on, we're going to talk about the book. So my first question would be, maybe you can introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, why you're here.
Thank you, Marian. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm Archana Amlapure. I'm yoga and wellness coach and director of Ojas Yoga Wellness. And my studio is located on an amazing place at Juchiat Road. And I have been teaching yoga from last 7-8 years. And it's been a great journey because before that, I used to work in corporates, and stress and anxiety is what led me to yoga. And I'm also an author of Health, Happiness, and Harmony. So I'm glad and to be here sharing my journey of yoga and helping people to lead healthy, happy, and stress-free life.
I can't wait to hear all about your answers. So my first question would be, what means being better than normal to you?
Okay, better than normal means to me is always aiming for continuous improvement and excellence in whatever you do. Stepping out of your fear, stepping out of your comfort zone, irrespective of whatever challenges, setbacks you're going through. And it also means to make that positive impact, positive contribution in the society and the world around you through your work, through your service, through your kindness. So this is what better than normal means to me.
And what makes you better than normal?
I think my consistency in my craft, in my teaching, in my journey as a business owner, my perseverance, and stepping out of comfort zone, stepping out of my fear, irrespective of whatever challenges, problems, setbacks, failures I go through.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Anything you want to add? We will figure out more about you later in the questions. Tell me about your journey from yoga. How did you get started in yoga?
Okay, it goes back to around 10-15 years ago when I used to work in corporates, and the pressure of my work, pressure of handling my family, peer pressure of myself doing better in my work, always added that stress, and it led to stress, anxiety, depression, and it really affected my health, my relationship, my sleep. And during that time, one day when I was returning from work and I saw that beautiful poster of a girl who is doing yoga, and she was smiling. She looked very happy. And I thought I'll try yoga. And my first experience in that first yoga class was amazing. It really helped me to calm down. It helped me to relax. I felt that I'm more close to myself. I felt I'm more grounded than before. And that's never going back after that. So yoga became my go-to place whenever I felt stressed, anxious, and that's when my yoga journey started.
That's a beautiful journey. I love that you mentioned what it makes you change within yourself. I think that's really important, and not only that is a physical activity, but also for your mind. So why is your brand called Ojas Yoga?
Okay, Ojas. The word Ojas means an essence which promotes health and vitality according to Ayurveda philosophy. And it was intentional to have Ojas as a name for my brand, for my yoga and wellness brand, because that's what I promote, and that was my mission to bring in that vitality, that health, promote holistic well-being. And at Ojas, through our yoga, meditation, wellness practices, we promote that inner strength, vitality, health. So whenever Ojas Yoga and Wellness comes, it's an invitation for everyone to come and try and become a part of our yoga journey, which leads to that holistic well-being, which leads to the healthy and harmonious life.
That's beautiful. I mean, yoga is one thing, doing yoga, but then like opening a studio is a whole different story. What made you do the step of opening your own yoga studio?
So, as I used to work in corporate and, that stress, anxiety, that's when the trigger I started doing yoga. And the benefit I felt, what I got from yoga, that's when I decided that it helped me so I can help others who are stressed, who are anxious, who are depressed. And that became my mission. And that's when I had that idea that I should have one place where everybody can practice and I can connect to many people where I can help them to lead healthy, happy, stress-free life. So as I started my journey as a yoga teacher, when my workload increased, I thought that when I established my name a little bit, I thought that this is the opportunity to have my own studio where I can bring in my mission and my vision into one place. So that's where the idea and that's where the journey began as a studio owner.
That's beautiful. Do you think that yoga helps with postpartum depression?
Yes, definitely. Again, when I go back to my working time, how yoga helped me. And when I become mother, that added another pressure in my, another added stress in my, already I was stressed. So I was again more depressed. I was anxious. But this yoga was like anchor to me. Whenever I felt anxious, stressed, I used to practice yoga and it really helped. So yoga is definitely a very good alternative practice for postpartum depression, which like asanas, yoga asanas, which helps to release that physical stress or the discomfort when a lady goes through childbirth, or relaxation. Breathing technique really helps to release stress, helps the person to calm down and create that mind and body connection. And it also helps to connect to the community where they can share. And, these are the things which helps in postpartum depression.
Why did you write your book called Health, Happiness, and Harmony?
Yes, so it was a journey again to write this book. And I'm really proud and glad that my book is out. And there were mainly 3 reasons why I wanted to write this book. Number one is because to tell the world or readers the struggles I went through as I went through stress, anxiety, and how yoga helped me to regain my life's balances and how it helped me to promote the positive health and well-being in my life. So that was first reason. Second, I wanted to distill or give my readers the key insights about history of yoga, the benefits, the myths around yoga, how stress affect, what is yoga therapy, in a simple and accessible language, so that it can be, reach to more and bigger audience. And number 3 is I want to motivate. And bring in that motivation to my readers of all ages to tell them that yoga and wellness can help to bring in positive change in their life, bring in health, happiness, harmony, and they can bring in a lot of success, wealth, and happiness. So this was the motivation behind that.
You already briefly mentioned the audience you want to target. Who should read your book?
Okay, so this book is for them who wants to, who are curious to know about history of yoga, and it is given in a very simple and accessible language. It will be those who are really wanting to make that positive change, positive lifestyle changes in their life. So this book will be a good guide for them. For women, it will give them motivation or some awareness that how each stage in their life, the external factors impacts their health and the hormonal health, and how yoga can help them become a guide throughout their life. Or even for the corporate professional, how they can bring in the wellness, the presence and productivity in their workplace as well as in their own life. So it is for anyone who wants to make that positive change and who wants to regain their life's balances.
What topics do you talk about as a keynote speaker?
So mainly 3 topics. Number 1, from stress to strength. So how we can lead from stressful life to a healthy, happy and harmonious life. Number 2 is empower her, women's wellness. How she can make the positive lifestyle changes to bring in positive impact in her life as well as others' life. And number 3 is how our modern lifestyle is impacting our health and how we can move from that health crisis to, again, healthy, happier and harmonious life.
Sounds super interesting. Which of the 3 topics you just mentioned would you say is your personal favorite?
I would say women's wellness, because that is where I help many women on daily basis.
Do you also train new and upcoming yoga teachers?
Yes, I do. Through my workshops, again, I have a group of yoga teachers who are teaching in my studio. So on regular basis, definitely we have those trainings, the improvement points. But we do have a lot of workshops focused for yoga teachers, like headstand workshop, pranayama workshop, core strengthening, yoga wheel workshop, many more. But I'm currently working on bringing in yoga teachers training, which is different, which will be different from other courses, because I would definitely want to include the business side of it. Being a yoga teacher is good, but how to set up a business as a yoga teacher and how can one excel in that. So that is what I'm working for.
What are 3 characteristics of a good yoga teacher?
So number 1 is empathy. So yoga teacher should create that space, the safe and comfortable environment for the student, so that the student or client can share her or his problems comfortably and without feeling judgmental. And so number 2 is authenticity. Again, as yoga is all about being true to yourself. So the yoga teacher should be authentic to herself first and to her practice. Number 3 is communication. Yoga teacher should be able to communicate or give her instruction in an easy language and in a simplified manner, which makes the class or that practice for others easy and comfortable.
What do you think is more important, having an actual certificate or the experience of being a yoga teacher?
To start with, for a yoga teacher, I think certificate is important, which gives a foundation and the credibility. But as one progresses through his or her teaching journey or her own practice, the experiences is what matters most. Because with that experience, one can give their best in terms of teaching. One can understand the complexity or the science or the art of the yoga properly, and which helps one to make the teaching process or understanding for the students, that process becomes simplified and easy to understand. So I would say that to begin with, certificate is very important, but as one progresses, her or his own experience helps a lot.
This was really interesting. I really hope to join one of your yoga classes one day here in Singapore. Thank you so much. Looking back, what advice would you give yourself if you started all over again from scratch with your business?
I think 2 things I would give myself. These 2 advice, that don't stress over small things, because when you start something, either your teaching or your entrepreneurial journey, there are problems, there are failures bound to come. So don't just stress over small thing. Just try to see always the positive side of it. And number 2 is just every point of time, just believe in yourself, not the external voices. Always try to listen your own inner voice.
That's beautiful. Some people think meditation and yoga are the same. Is it really the same?
Not really. So again, the yoga and meditation are part of Ashtanga yoga steps, or Ashtanga yoga, 8 limbs of yoga, what Sage Patanjali has given us. Yoga is a broader term, I would say. Now, yoga is always connected with the asanas. So when someone says yoga, we connect it to the asana part, which is physical practice, the poses part. But meditation is more of bringing awareness inwards. Bringing that one-pointed awareness focus inwards. So meditation can be, focusing on any object, focusing on any vibration, focusing on your breath, or some visualization. So meditation is more of bringing that awareness inwards. Yoga is broader term, but again, if you connect to the asanas, it's a physical practice.
Why many people give up on yoga fast?
Actually, from my experience, I've never seen, once they practice with good yoga teacher, I've at least whoever comes to me have never given up on yoga. Have never went back not practicing yoga. But I can think of 3 things what might stop them from doing yoga. Number 1 is maybe lack of time, or lack of self-discipline, or maybe some health issues or injuries, which limits them to practice yoga.
I finally got my hands on one of the copies of Health, Happiness, and Harmony and Archana, so I'm going to ask you some questions about it. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
What is chapter 1? Modern lifestyle, it's killing you faster than you know about. Tell me about it.
So chapter 1, I have written about how a modern lifestyle is affecting that one area of our life, that is health, and how it is leading to a lot of diseases, and how yoga can be our companion, how yoga can help us. And I like to call it as a modern yoga. So how modern yoga help us to manage and mitigate this lifestyle-related diseases. So in today's world, we are very blessed to have the comfort, to have everything accessible very easily. All the information is available at our tip of our, just a click. Instant messaging, instant coffee, instant meals, everything is available. We are at the blessed time. But I think one area of life where we are struggling is our health. And we are in health crisis. So these all modern lifestyles are putting a lot of pressure in our physical, mental, and emotional health, and which is leading to strokes, hypertension, diabetes, cancer, and so on. And these are called lifestyle disorders. And modern yoga, I like to call it as a modern yoga. Yoga helps to manage and mitigate these conditions very well.
That's beautiful. Great introduction. Coming to chapter 2, yoga from the Vedic era to the modern times. What is it about?
So this chapter 2 is all about the history of yoga. So I try to write it in a simple language. History of yoga. I have also given a lot of definition of yoga, what the ancient sages like Patanjali and Yoga Vasishta has given, to the modern sages like Swami Vivekananda and Aurobindo. This also talks about the 4 parts of yoga. And there's one great concept which Patanjali has given is Ashtanga yoga. So I would like to talk about Ashtanga yoga in detail, in a brief way. So Ashtanga yoga is, it's basically 8 limbs of yoga. And if one follows these 8 limbs in our modern, in our busy life, it really helps us to lead that healthy and happy life. So these 8 parts are, number 1 is yamas. Yama is the social conduct, the 5 ways how we can behave, how our conduct should be outside. Number 2 is niyamas, is the 5 ways, what helps, the 5 rules for self. And number 3 is asanas. Asanas helps to bring that flexibility, strength, stamina in our body. Number 4 is pranayama, which helps our energy layer. like pranayama practices, breathing practices. Number 5 is pratyahara. It's where we turn our senses inwards with all this asana and pranayama practices. Then dhyan, dharana, samadhi. These are the last 3 limbs, which helps us to bring that focus and awareness inwards and sets us to the path of, the peace and harmony. So I think these 8 limbs, these 8 ways are very good to lead that healthy and happy life.
Learned a lot again. Chapter 3, yoga therapy, how yoga actually works to heal you.
So chapter 3, yoga therapy, is all about the lifestyle disorders and how yoga therapy helps to manage and mitigate these lifestyle disorders. So let's say, for example, one is suffering from migraine. What that person does is just take pills. And what that person is doing is just working on symptoms, which is headache. But in yoga, we go to the root cause of the problem. So yoga therapy helps for that. So we go to the root cause, as in to help what are the triggers of the migraine. It can be stress, it can be hormones, it can be sleep. And we help to correct that on a different layer, like with asanas, yoga asanas, with the pranayam, breathing technique, with the meditation, with the counseling. And this is the yoga therapy is all about. It is multidimensional as well as holistic approach to manage any condition. And it is also a curative way of managing these diseases.
Interesting. Sounds like a cure for a lot of things. Singaporeans know about the 5 C's, but tell us more about the 5 B's, which is more important.
Okay, I would like to ask, what makes you happy?
Happy makes spending time with family and friends, reading a good book, can be an exercise, can be good ice cream.
Yeah, but then when I ask this question, many a times I get this answer that work, the success, money, having a house makes them happy. So that 5 C's, right? Car, condominium, cash, credit card, country club membership. This is what makes them happy. But in reality, this does not give us long-term happiness. So 5 B's are 5 bodies. So if one focuses on 5 bodies, in 5 bodies means in yoga, we call it as pancha kosha. Pancha is 5, kosha is layers. So it is from very gross layer to the subtler layer of your body. So which is your physical body, which is your Pranamaya kosha, which is your energetic body. The first is Annamaya kosha, which is your physical. Then Pranamaya kosha, which is your energy body. Then your mind, which is Manomaya kosha. Then it is your intellect. This is Vijnanamaya kosha, and at the end it is our bliss body. It is the layer of happiness. So if one focuses on our 5 bodies, going deeper inside, bringing awareness, I would say it brings more happiness. So 5 C's are important for everyone, and everyone should strive for that. But 5 B's are essential. So I think if one learns to take care of their 5 bodies, the 5 C's automatically falls in place.
This is a beautiful message. Everyone out there, listen to these advice. Chapter 4, the magic balance, alignment of mind, body, and emotions.
Okay, chapter 4, I have written about this magic balance, which leads us to health, happiness, and harmony. And I have also given the ways how we can strive or how we can achieve those balances in our life, with practices of yoga. So first of all, we need to understand what is imbalance. Imbalance is something, somewhere we focus on one thing more than the other thing. Like if, for example, in our work, we focus on our work more, and sometimes we forget our family, as in we can't give much time. And that's where the imbalance comes. But in yoga is all about balance. So bringing that concept, I would say that success, having success in our life is balancing in all the aspects of our life. So yoga, very essence of yoga teaches us to balance, to bring the balance on our mind, body, and breath. So striving to create that balance in all the aspects of our life, like our work, our relationship, our health, our finances. This brings that balance and harmony inside as well as outside.
Chapter 5 is about managing stress. Can you tell us more about that?
Okay, chapter 5, I have written all about stress. So what, how, and why of the stress, the physiology behind stress, how it affects our human beings, and how it is leading to lifestyle disorders. And how and why yoga is a very good practice to manage stress in our lives. Now, we think that stress is all bad, but all stress is not bad. We need some kind of stress to step out of comfort zone, to do better, to achieve something in our life. For example, we have exam stress, or someone is giving a speech. We feel stressful. So this is a good stress. This is a positive stress in our life, which helps us to achieve something, and which is called eustress. But the stress which affects our mind, body, our emotions, which affects our health, is distress. Now, if someone is going through stress, the person can feel anger, irritation, irritability, any health issues. And that is acute stress. But that stress, if remains for longer time, it becomes chronic stress, which is again leading to a lot of lifestyle disorders like hypertension, diabetes, strokes, migraine, obesity. And yoga, how yoga helps in managing stress is all these practices of pranayam, meditation, or asanas. This helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which activates the rest and digest signal in our body, which tells our body that the stressful situation of you are out of danger, and then it really helps to manage all those physiological changes happen due to stress, like our blood sugar levels or heartbeats or muscle becoming tight, and that is how yoga helps in managing stress very well.
Sounds indeed like a very good thing.
I don't know how.
Chapter 6 is about what can stop you from doing yoga.
Okay, in this chapter, I've written the very common myths about yoga I come across, and how one can bring in that healthy habits in their life to inculcate yoga in their daily life. Now, the 5 myths I very often come across is the number 1 is yoga is too slow. People think that yoga is slow. Number 2 is I'm not flexible enough to do yoga, but that's not the prerequisite to do yoga. And you become flexible if you practice yoga. Number 3 is yoga is for women. That's what I keep hearing a lot. It's changing nowadays. I see a lot of men joining, but it's not true at all. And all the ancient yogis, teachers were male teachers. So yoga is not only for women. Number 4 is I cannot lose weight by yoga. And I would say that yoga's intention, or the main reason why you practice is not losing weight, but that might happen along the way if you're consistent and if you're aware. The awareness comes with the practice of yoga and what you take inside as well as in your mind. So there are a lot of things which goes behind this, but this is not true that yoga does not help you to lose weight. And the 5 is I'm not disciplined to do yoga. So I think you will become disciplined if you practice yoga. So what in our life does not need discipline? But yoga is that practice. If you come and practice it daily, it will automatically bring in that discipline.
Chapter number 7, presence and productivity.
Okay, in this chapter, I've written about the health issues, common health issues faced in workplaces, and the major factors what it leads to all these health problems in amongst employee or in workplaces, and how they can bring in yoga and wellness practices so that they can bring in presence, productivity, focus, and happiness in their workplace. So I feel that there are 6 major factors which are commonly seen among professionals, which leads to health issues like stress, anxiety, or absenteeism, or any health issues employees go through. So number 1 is sedentary lifestyle, means because of their work or because of their willingness, they are not moving much. Number 2 is stress, and stress is, I think, number 1 factor of health, physical, mental, and emotional health in workplaces. Number 3 is the working environment. It might be the office politics or some peer pressure, all the external, all the interpersonal problems, all these other factors which leads to mental health. Number 4 is poor nutrition, maybe lack of time, maybe because of their working conditions, they're not able to give much time for their diet and nutrition. Number 5 is imbalance. I mean, they're not able to balance their work and life.
Chapter 8 is about women's wellness.
So in this chapter, I try to go deep into the 7 stages of women's life, where in every stage, how the external factors affects her health, the physical health or hormonal health, and how yoga can be a great companion in each stages of their life, which can bring in more balance in their physical, mental, even in their hormonal health, and they can manage their life better internally as well as externally. And very often I see that there are top 5 health issues women face, and which I see on daily basis. Number 1 is stress, anxiety, which is on rise, especially since COVID. I've seen it is on rise. Number 2 is sleep, disturbed sleep, lack of sleep. Number 3 is weight gain. Again, it is connected to hormonal health, so hormonal imbalance. Number 4. And number 5 is lack of time for their own self-care routine or practices. So all these things are interrelated, but again, yoga and wellness, all these practices really help in all those conditions, all these problems very well.
Sounds really good. Chapter 9 is about health after 40.
Yeah. Okay. In this chapter, Life at 40, I try to write. I've written about what are the problems one faces. Not exactly problems, but the physiological changes happens after 40, and how maintaining and managing their life becomes even more important due to aging process, due to having many responsibilities in life at that point of time. How taking care of health is so important, and why yoga is a sustainable practice, especially after 40, is what I have written in this chapter. I would like to read a few sentences from this book, from this chapter. 40 is the new 20 nowadays, but 20 is the time of confusion, and 40 is the time of evolution. There is a confusion, but there is a clarity. There is a sense of achievement, but yet there is so much to do. There's quite a life spent behind, but yet there is still so much to live for. There are many mistakes in the past, but there is willingness to improve in the future. There is a midlife crisis, yet there is possibility and hope. One has lived life enough, but there is so much to do and live. There is acceptance, yet there is resistance. There is growth outwards, yet there is aging inwards. So this is where one needs those sustainable approach in their life, which is yoga, which helps again to bring balance, bring harmony, and bring happiness.
That's a beautiful sentence. Chapter 10 is about real life experiences.
Yes. So in this chapter, I've tried to gather some experiences of my clients, from which I want to talk about 2 experiences. Number 1 is a very special case for me. She's my friend, and she's from where I started my yoga therapy journey as a yoga therapist. This friend, she has gone through migraine. I mean, she has been suffering from migraine from last 10 years. And that's when she approached me. And we started with yoga therapy, yoga asanas, pranayam, meditation, all these practices. But prior to that, that migraine really affected her life to large extent, because she used to get migraine almost every week, and it used to affect her life. Her kids were small, and she had to plan around her migraine. So it was like a lot of chaos at some point of time. But this yoga, gradually, slowly, I won't say that it happened overnight, but gradually and slowly, it really helped her to understand her triggers, her moods, and she learned how to manage migraine very well. And it really helped her to reduce the intensity of migraine and the frequency of migraine. I think she was very happy how she is able to manage her life well with the practices of yoga and breathing.
That's so nice.
And number 2 is again a very recent case. This lady came to me with the fibroid issues and again some menopausal symptoms. And yoga therapy really helped her to manage all those symptoms related to fibroids. It helped her to improve her flexibility. And she's really very happy, and she's continuing her yoga journey still. So these are just 2 examples, but I have many more success stories with me. So, yeah.
Read the book to find out all the other success stories. And chapter 11, Glossary of Yoga Poses. I saw you have a lot of pictures as well, so it's easy for everyone who wants to start to follow the pictures and the glossary.
Yeah, so this is actually a short little sequence if one wants to practice yoga. So I've carefully given all those poses, which is very good for beginners. If you have not done yoga anytime, you can still straight away start with this whole sequence. Or even if you've been practicing yoga, this sequence still helps. So very carefully given only short and concise practice. But I have my YouTube channel where I do post a lot of flow, a lot of stretch videos of about 15 to 30 minutes. So yeah, this is beginning. And if you want to progress without coming to my studio, can go on my YouTube channel.
I guess we're all convinced now. So where can we now buy one of your books, and how can we contact you?
So if you are in Singapore, I definitely have few copies. You can just reach out to me, or it is available on Amazon. Yeah.
Great. So contact you via your social medias, Instagram, YouTube, you mentioned.
Yes, Instagram, Facebook, my official email ID, or WhatsApp.
That's great. And my last question for today, who are you currently looking to help?
Women, especially from the age of 30 to 55, because that's where I see many women come to yoga for various reasons. Again, yoga is for everyone. So definitely whoever comes to me, but I think I would love to help women who are in this age group for all those the problems I have gone through, so I can connect to their problems very well.
Thank you so much for all your answers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for talking about the book. Congratulations. All the best for your business. Ojas Yoga and Wellness Studio, Archana Amlapure. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Marian. Thank you. It was a lovely conversation. Thank you.